Good morning, Jim. There's still a Zell's roast beef on 169th and Columbia in Hammond.
Is that the only one left?
No, there's that. I guess there's that. Well, when I was younger and I worked inside the refinery, helped work and contracted in there, there used to be a Zell's somewhere over in East Chicago. We always get one, but I always pass by to go home and go to work. There's that Zell's on 169th and Columbia. It's still there. It's still open. They have their employee of the month up there saying who's the employee of the month there, and some advertisements. But every day I take students to go get tested so they get their CDL. And yesterday,
I thought you were getting them tested for something else. But anyways, go ahead.
I just walk back too.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, anyhow, yesterday was another very interesting day because when I start to take the students out to go get tested, I got 38 minutes to prep them on their road test or their test. And I always start out and ask them how old they are, where they're from, and what kind of job they have now, and why did they choose a trucking. Yesterday was an interesting day because I start out the same thing, and then all of a sudden he says, I was a police officer. I said, what? Yeah. He says, I was a police officer for 3 years. I says, why did you choose to go from that to this? More money and safer. That's what he said to me. More money and it's a lot safer. I said, what do you mean safer? He says, the stress and the problems that I have to deal with the public and the police department. He was telling me how stressful his job is when he has to go to a call or things go on. He was telling me some pursuits and stuff. And he says, I want to live. He says, it's dangerous out there. And then about a year ago, a lady come into our school and she was going to take college and all these classes to become a nurse, RN or whatever it was. In 120 hours, we had her passed. She's a driver, and she already sent an email to my boss of how much money she's making. And I asked her why she does that. First thing they say is, in 120 hours, I can get a license, and I can make $90,000 a year and don't have to spend 3 to 4 years for schooling. But
wait, hold on a second, Mike. You get to the point of what is happening right here at Purdue Northwest. One of our guys, I won't say his name unless he wants me to, he went and got a degree at Purdue Northwest. He's worked for me for 6, 7, 8 years, part-time. He's a really good producer. Very difficult to find enough money in this field right now. So he applied to a local trade union with a college degree and 6 years of broadcasting experience. And he's just like, dude, I think I want to be an electrician. And he's like, Jed, do you know anybody over there? Of course, I do whatever. And I was like, are you sure, Josh? I mean, what is it you want to do?
He said his name.
Oh, well, whatever. And so this is not abnormal where people are leaving other career paths to come to the trades, to come to work in BP, to come and work in the steel mills. And I think that is just starting. I think that's going to be more and more, especially since these union jobs, you make so much money and you get a pension.
Yeah, it's just like you're saying, Judge, certain people, I have nothing against people going to college or going to these schools to get a career in a certain field. But the thing is if you get that career in a certain field and there's no places or nobody hiring in them field, you're stuck in a limbo.
All right, man.
I've seen so many people that the reason they come into trucking is because, for example, a lot of years ago.
Mike, I'm going to have to move it along. I got somebody coming in, and I want to take your topic, and I'm going to comment on it, but there's a slight hum on the line, so I'm going to hang up and comment on what you had to say. All right, man? Thank you. So Adriana, it's really hard for people your age coming out of college right now. It's awful, especially in these.
A lot of them where you have to deal with technology and honestly, like business, technology, and like communication fields of like PR, broadcasting, all of those different things. It is a lot difficult. I have a lot of friends that they can't find any internships. They cannot find any open level. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting the name of it, but basically just beginner positions where you need little to no experience. They're not able to get that. And I remember I had some friends that even not in the communication field, in engineering, they couldn't find anything. And if they could find something, it was either out of the country and or a good like 10 hours away from where they live.
So you're right, and I feel bad. I mean, we had the Channel 7 reporter. She does that. She does Gloria Morris's podcast sometimes. What's her name?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, she was a. You remember seeing her? I remember seeing her on TV all the time.
I know exactly who she is.
But she comes in on noon on Fridays.
Yeah.
And she's like, Jim, can you take somebody that an intern? You don't have to pay him, whatever. And I'm like, no, we don't have that. It doesn't work. It's not it's just something we can't do. And she goes, oh my God, you're saying the same thing that every television radio station in Chicago is saying, that nobody's taking any interns or any entry levels. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with people getting educated at Purdue Northwest with like history and communications and that kind of stuff. Even people going for computer programming. Don't worry about her name. We'll figure it out.
Her name is Tina. I just don't know her last name.
Tina. Yeah, she was on Channel 7. She goes, oh, my God, I don't know how anybody's going to get into the business. And then I'm talking to my son-in-law. He works in AI, makes AI agents. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I am, doing the best I can to make things more efficient, and I'm going to show you what he did last night. We were over there last night, and think about it. We're running WJOB on 3 students, and Lori helping out and Starkey helping out. It's the only way that this can really run as we rebuild it. And what you guys are bringing is more and more AI you put it in Riverside and they cut that magic clip for you, and you put Sean Kinsey on social media last night, right? That was all done by the algorithm. It's
done less than 30 minutes getting the captions, descriptions.
So here's some layoffs of on Friday. Jack Dorsey, he used to run Twitter. He started Twitter and sold it X, and they made it X. He laid off half his workforce from 8,000 to 4,000. Last night, Morgan Stanley, which is just a stalwart in the financial, has laid off 2,500 employees across all divisions. What is happening, and people don't want to admit this, is that everybody's been waiting for the AI job cliff to come.
And it's happening, yeah.
It's starting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you do? Look at what's available for us. We can do the Kinsey podcast. By the way, go see Sean Kinsey. He did a pretty good job on the podcast. I don't think he's ever done that before. And all I did is I did it from my kitchen table. It went up into a service we've bought, an AI service. And then Adriana just had to give it a name and then pick one of the clips it made and put that one on Facebook.
Our title, description, our graphic, everything was done yesterday within a span of an hour.
Yep. And so I don't know. I feel bad because partly I feel that if Purdue really wanted to prepare you and others, you're already prepared by you know how to run a system. Mm-hmm. So does Lynette, and so does Semino, kind of, when he's paying attention. But he's a sports guy.
I help him out because he calls.
He's a sports guy.
Hey, how do I do this? I'm like, you got this. You do this. He's like, all right, thank you so much.
But you guys are doing the work of probably 10 people
Yeah.
35 years ago. And it just keeps getting narrower and narrower. So remember, Lynette was a little worried about, using some of these tools. But I told her, I said, the world needs people that know how to run AI-based systems. That's just how it is. And you guys have taken it where I'm way past where I would go. I mean, certainly Riverside is the main one right now, but we have other systems that are AI-based system. I won't even tell you what we developed last night because I don't want people to know right away.
Keep it.
Well, there's a competitive aspect to it.
Yes.
And so, anyways, let's take some more phone calls.
Well, we're gonna take a break right now. It is top of the hour at 7 a.m.
I thought I was in charge.
Sorry about that, but we are gonna take a break. Maybe.
Short break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.